Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to another Candid Kandy. Today we are going to discuss how to deal with negative comments, both online and in real life. So, let's start with online. There are so many keyboard warriors, social justice warriors, whatever you would like to call them, that go on my videos, people like me's videos, really anyone's videos, and will just say hateful and nasty things. Now, I can take some criticism, and I can take constructive criticism. I can take, someone saying, hey, that's not really cool what you just did, or something like that. What I can't take is people with fake concern. Like, oh, I'm just looking out for you. Honey, you don't even know me. You're not looking out for me. And people that are just plain hateful, I can't deal with. Oh, we are so shaky again. I'm sorry, guys. And we've talked about this multiple times. I don't understand that type of behavior. I don't understand how you want to waste so much time and energy being hateful to someone. Just being hateful to another human being. It makes absolutely no sense to me. And the way I sort of try to deal with it is I try to ignore most of it. But sometimes it gets kind of personal, and sometimes it gets very hurtful, and it can cut me pretty deep. And when I first got my channel, I let it bother me a lot. There were times where I got so depressed over one comment that I would just cry. And this all started back in October when my Torrid Haul video got shared on some not so savory websites. And by those, I mean forums and sites that are specifically targeted to make fat people feel disgusting and make fun of fat people. And while this did help my channel grow a lot, because my views went up, and that in turn made YouTube be like, oh, well, she must be popular, so let's recommend her to people. And that really helped my channel grow. When people ask me, like, how do you get so many viewers? I got trolled. You don't want it to happen. Like, believe me, you don't want it to happen to you. Oh, hello, puppy. And so I got trolled by these jerks that called me a ham planet and disgusting and all these things. And it really, really got to me at first. And there's so many of you that are like, don't let the haters get you down. And I really try not to, but sometimes they do. And sometimes I take screenshots of those really shitty things, and I keep them in my phone to remind me that there are shitty people out there, but look how far you've come since then. One example I'll give you is this woman named Rhonda. Now, what Rhonda did is she watched 20 or so of my videos and commented something negative on every single one of them. And I could tell that she was actually watching them because the comments were spread out over, 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes about how long each video was. And so she spent hours watching my videos and commenting negative things. And I blocked her on YouTube. Then she started sending me messages on Instagram. And these were very nasty, rude messages, calling me names, telling me how disgusting I was, that I should go kill myself. And so I blocked her on Instagram. Well, then she started doing it to Maddie, my friend Maddie from Tennessee. And you don't mess with my friends. And so Maddie told me about it, and I said, well, she found me on Instagram too, or she may have found Maddie on Instagram and then went there. Anyway, so she started after Maddie. And so we both blocked her on YouTube and Instagram. And then she found my Facebook, and she started privately messaging me on Facebook and calling me a fat slob and telling me how disgusting I was and I should kill myself. And I took screenshots of these. Well, this woman showed up in the Kandy community yesterday, and you have to be approved to get in. I didn't approve her, but one of the other admins did. She, you know, didn't seem like she was trouble, and that's totally fine. She looks like a totally normal person that wouldn't be an asshole. But she made a post, and it said, "Hey Kandy, can I see your bed sheets? I'm thinking about getting some for my granddaughter." And when I saw the post, I was like, hold up. That's the woman that was giving me so much shit a few months ago. So I went through my phone and I found the screenshots. And what I did next, I'm not super proud of. I went to my admins and I was like, hey, this woman, you know, this is what she did to me, and da-da-da-da. And I go, I'm going to mess with her. So I replied to her post and I put the screenshot and I go, oh, hey, Rhonda, isn't this you? What you doing here? And her comment back was, oh, Lord. And I go, if you would like to stay in the group, I will gladly listen to your reasons on why you did this to me. Why you were so nasty to me across multiple social media platforms. Multiple platforms, like not just one, not just two, but at least three. And she may have found me on Twitter too, and I don't remember, but this woman kind of terrorized me for a couple months, and all she said was, I'm sorry. And so one of my people in the community was like, I'm sorry. Sorry does not make up for that. And she never did apologize, and I left it up for a little while and kind of let the ladies in my community be like, why would you do that? Like, I was very proud of most of them. They didn't call her names or lash out at her. They just didn't. They were like, I don't understand why you would do that. And like, why would you say that to someone? And I was very proud of them, but I only let it go on for about 15 minutes before I was like, okay, I'm just going to boot her and block her and we done. And so I kicked her out of the community and I blocked her on Facebook. And I'm not proud of myself for egging her on by like replying to her, and then like I almost feel like I let my minions kind of do my dirty work, but I shouldn't have done it. And so I made a post and I was like, I've kicked her out, you know, I'm sorry, you know. I'm not proud of myself for doing it, but revenge is not usually something that I am prone to, and so I felt bad about it. But, you know, sometimes you're hurt so badly by someone that you want to get revenge. And I'm getting coffee in case you couldn't figure that out. You know, and that stuff can be traumatizing. And so the way I deal with that kind of stuff online is I block people. Or I will, like, if they're being extra nasty or like just like saying things that aren't true, I'll do my best to kind of be polite about it, but tell them that they're wrong. But try to be like, hey, this is what I meant to say, or this is what, you know, this is what I meant by what I said. And so, you know, it's that kind of thing in comments. Now, if you just get nasty comments on like Twitter or something, just block people. Don't let them get to you. And I know that's easier said than done. We've already talked about this. But, you know, you just have to ignore people that are ignorant. And pick out the people that are being hateful and get rid of them. And I know there's a lot of people that criticize me for certain things, and they're trying to be helpful. And okay, I can take that. But if you're going to comment on someone's stuff and you're trying to be helpful, think about saying it in a productive way. Not something like, Kandy, your eyebrows are so ugly. You really need to go get them microbladed. Okay, that's not a nice way to say it. Why don't you say something like, hey Kandy, have you looked at microblading? I know that you're having some issues with your brows. Hey, okay, that's cool. Thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. It's the way that you, what am I trying to say? The way that your delivery is important. There we go. Your delivery of what you're trying to say is important. I think there's a fine line between being an asshole and being, you know, a constructive criticizer. And when you say it in a constructive way, I don't take it as criticism. I take it as someone trying to be helpful. And so, you know, I guess I also am not super thin-skinned, and so, like, I can kind of take it. And maybe that comes from years and years of being fat and, like, just expecting people to be assholes, you know? And that really sucks that I expect most people to be assholes, but it happens. And so I block the jerks, and I try to take the constructive criticism. There's still, you know, people that get to me, especially people that, like, private message me or, like, share, like, certain things on, like, forums and stuff. But, you know, it is what it is. So now we move on to dealing with comments, negative comments in life. Now, for me, there's two different categories for this. There is a stranger on the street, and there is family or friends. And I deal with both. Not so much like in the streets as much as I used to. I've only had a couple people say something to me in public, and it wasn't even like directly to my face. So here's kind of the categories. You get the people who say something directly to your face. You get the people who look at you, whisper, and laugh. You get the people that, like, go around the corner to talk to someone, like that mom and daughter that I talked about a few videos ago. Or you get, and this is what happens for me, you get the group of teenage, young 20s guys that are all in a car together that think it's funny to catcall a fat woman, or to call her a whale, or to make pig noises at her while she's walking down the street. Now, this is childish behavior. I get it. So the way I deal with that kind of thing is to basically ignore it, because there's no point in saying anything. They've driven off. If you even say anything back, they probably can't hear you. The way I deal with people who, like, go around the corner and tell someone and you can hear them is I will confront them sometimes. But if you don't have the cojones for that, because I know, like, not all of us do, you can also ignore that one. The people that laugh and snicker, I like to do it back to them, or be like, is there a problem? When I see them point, laugh, and snicker. So, like, I kind of enjoy pointing, laughing, and snickering back at them, because it kind of throws them off. They're like, what? Even being like, is there a problem? It kind of throws them off. They're like, whoa, she actually said something back to me. And then the ones that straight up come up to your face and are like, yo, you're a fat ass. I usually just say thank you, or wow, good job, you have eyes. Something something to that effect. I'm kind of a sassy bitch, so like most of my clapbacks are thank you, Michael Lawrence, for that word, clapback. Well, he called it flapback, but anyway, you know, I clap back. I'm kind of a sassy bitch like that, and so I just usually say something back to them. Now, if it's someone in your family or your friends, that's when you can have like a serious conversation with someone. Now, I have this problem sometimes with my mom, that she is a very negative person. And she will say things without really thinking how it will affect someone else. And so with her, I call her out. I'm like, Mom, don't say things like that. That hurt my feelings. Or, Mom, don't talk about someone like that. That's not okay. You know, I call her out on her shit. If it's a friend, you can be like, yo, dude, like, no, that's not okay. Or like, hey, don't say things like that to me. And if they continue to do that, there's a difference between ribbing a friend, like, like being silly, and being malicious. And if someone's being malicious to you, they're not your friend. They're using you. They're using you for something. They're using you as fodder, like, you know, they're making fun of you to other people. They're talking behind your back, or they're using you because they feel shitty about themselves so they can make fun of you all day. And that's why they keep you around as a friend. So if you have a friend that you've talked to about like calling you fat or something like that, that it makes you uncomfortable or that you don't like it, and they continue to do it, cut that person off. You don't need that kind of person in your life. Now, so we've covered a family member, we've covered a friend, and now we're going to talk about your significant other. And again, there's a difference between constructive criticism or concern from a loved one than there is on just blatant assholeness. And if you have a boyfriend who, when you get in fights, brings up your weight, or when you like call him out on something, he slaps back with your weight, he's not good for you. The person that you're with should always be your number one cheerleader, your number one companion, and the person that you can go to for anything. They should never, ever be mean to you like that. You should never allow that. If you are in a relationship with someone who is constantly berating you and putting you down, get the fuck out. That is not okay. That is not okay in the slightest. If you have a significant other who comes to you and says, honey, I'm really concerned that, you know, you're putting on some weight. Do you think that maybe we can work out together, or that we should start eating differently? And if they include themselves in this, that's them trying to be supportive and, you know, help you out. Like, they're genuinely showing concern. But if it's someone who's just like, listen, fatty, you're putting on some weight, you're not attractive anymore, I can't. Like, I don't even want to have sex with you because you're so fat. Kick them out. Do not deal with that kind of shit. That is not okay. You are a strong, beautiful woman or a handsome man, and if your significant other talks to you that way, goodbye. You're a beautiful person. I don't care how ugly you think you are. You're a beautiful person on the inside. You're a beautiful person to me, and you mean more to me than that asshole that just called you fat. I hope that, you know, I hope that this has helped some of you in ways to deal with, you know, negative things. And I know that leaving your significant other is harder than, you know, it's easier said than done. But don't allow yourself to be treated that way. And I think that's why I haven't dealt with a lot of bullying or anything like that, because I didn't allow myself to be treated that way. I didn't allow myself to be called names and be degraded. I stood up for myself, and not in a physical way. You know, you don't have to punch someone out to stand up for yourself, but you need to be strong for yourself, and you should always put yourself first. So I hope that helped. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. Think of yourself. Bye.